Should my should it be here or here? This one, here or here? Okay, fine.
Do you see camera 2? Studio? Camera 2.
Some of the name, who's the caller there?
General supports.
Wachana nayo.
This one, someone in right. This one.
It's directly turning my eyes.
Oh, what I do is raise it. Just
Compromise my visual abilities.
Mike, now you can tell us if we are okay. Right? Camera 1.
Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Let him give me 1 minute.
Is it okay there? No, you won't be looking at it.
But it's looking at you. Come and say it has.
No, I know, it has to. We don't have condenser. We don't have this. Oh. It's okay. 2 minutes only, we just say
Okay. Go. Continue charging it. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Is my book here being seen by all the commerce? It doesn't have to be seen.
There's a white shirt
Mm.
that covers everything.
No problem.
Yeah, it's okay. You have water there in case
What?
you. Mike. Gary.
You,
Okay. Gary.
Yes. Oh,
Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership. Live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 30th of November 2025. I would like to welcome you to the Ugunja Parliamentary Debate. We have with us today Honorable Maurice Okuma, who is a candidate for the Ugunja by-election set for November 27th, 2025. I welcome you all to follow along to the conversation we're going to have with him. Before we start, let us take a minute and listen to the national anthem. East African anthem.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you. I would like to welcome you here once again. So here with you, I'm Gare Credo Utieno, and we have with us the candidate, Maurice Okuma, who will introduce himself in a minute. I also have with me my co-host here, Faith. She can say a thing or two.
Hello and good evening to everyone. I'm Evans Faith, one of the co-hosts that will be running this session, and we are live on all the platforms, Ugunja Report, in both YouTube and Facebook, Homa Bay TV, both YouTube and Facebook, and Rapogi TV. You're all welcome and feel free to watch it. Thank you. Back to you, Ngari.
Thank you, Faith. So before we get started, I would like to give Honorable Maurice a couple of minutes to introduce himself. Let him tell us who he is, and then I'll take it over from there. Welcome, Wishimiwa.
thank you very much, my hosts. First, before I introduce myself, I think it is going to be historical if you allow me to appreciate first and foremost the efforts that the team consisting of Ugunja Daily, Homa Bay TV, Rapogi TV, and Simbi Kenya. Is that correct? This is going to be historical, and I want to really appreciate you, the team, because you may not know how good this is. By you bringing together those who have stepped forward to seek for leadership reminds me of what used to happen in the 80s, and 90s, and early 2000s. So I want to appreciate your efforts, and I have no doubt that at the end of it, in the fullness of time, both Kasipul and Ugunja will have brought into this region of Kenya, the western region, a very important thing. As I will look forward to engaging with you and the viewers at an opportune time, I think I must thank God for giving me this opportunity. I was expecting to have the 10 of us at Ugunja Parliamentary, because we were all invited, as you confirmed to us during the pre-review of this meeting. But I found here myself alone. That is good for me, because the event will have taken the place. I thank you very much. Now you tell me to introduce myself to you and to the listeners. That correct? It can take me one full day to introduce myself. So I want you to tell me to limit myself to how many minutes?
Well, we're going to have a very lengthy conversation today with you. There's a lot of topics we'll discuss. So this first part, you can tell us who you are. You can tell us where you're from, what you do, things like that. Just the basic information about you.
Fine.
And the rest of it, we'll have a moment to talk about the rest
That's
of it.
okay.
Thank you.
I have many names, but for the purposes of this discussion, I will limit it to I am Maurice Juma Okuma, but I have a trade name that people know me everywhere, the whole world. When I travel, everything, they know me MJ. If you say MJ, they will simply finish and say Okuma. I am born and brought up from Ugunja, previously Ugenya constituency, but now Ugunja constituency, from a family called Joka Keny, Juholo. I am married to my wife. I fondly refer to her as Nyarokaka, one wife. I have been blessed to have 4 adult children, all of them out of college. I've adopted 3 adults, all of them out of college. I am a practicing Catholic, a Christian Catholic. I'm in fact a church minister in the Catholic Church. I am a teacher. I teach law at the university, Catholic University of East Africa. I've taught other places, Mount Kenya, Kenyatta University, not Stratham, but Daystar. I'm self-employed in partnership. We run our own 3 partnership legal practice in the name of Okuma, Miawa, and Wamwara Advocates in Nairobi and in Kenya. And I also do social responsibility things to give back to society for the last many years. I'm happy to be here this evening, courtesy of your team, and I hope that we will all learn, particularly for the purpose for which you have invited me. You invited us, I have presented myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Maurice, for showing up to our debate. Thank you. To those who are watching us, this event is an organized event. We organized it by different brands. By Homa Bay TV, we have Rapogi TV, and then we have Ugunja Daily Report, and we are streaming it on our live platforms. If you're following us, ensure you share it with those who are not able to be live with us today. As we get started, I would want to welcome him once again to this session, and I look forward to sharing a lot with you. So before we go into further details, why don't you tell us why you are interested in this Ugunja seat? We understand the seat became vacant after the previous MP, Honorable Opio Wandai was nominated for a ministry cabinet secretary position, and the seat has been vacant for a while now. Ugunja has been without an MP for quite some time now. So why are you interested in this position? What made you present your interest, and why do you want the people of Ugunja to consider you for this position? We'll talk about your policies, definitely, but can you please give us a brief overview of what drove you to present your interest as a candidate for the Ugunja constituency? Thank you.
As you can see, I am of age, and presenting myself for leadership and service to the people, to the community of Ugunja is no news to me. Ugunja residents listening to me, and they know me, those who have participated in political leadership for over the last 23 years, they know my existence because while I was in school, I became a head boy elected in Form 3, and Form 4s were there. When I did my Form 6, I also became a head boy at different schools. So leadership is something that has been in me. And to specifically talk about Ugunja, may I start by telling you that Ugunja, when I was born, the constituency was called Ugenya and Uholo. So Ugunja came with the new constitution, the 47 counties. Then the new constituencies. That is how Ugunja came to be in 2013. So yes, to come to you is that this is not my first time to offer myself. I first offered myself for leadership in Ugenya in the year 2000 and stood and contested in NAC ticket the year 2002. Yeah, in fact, our current governor wanted to be a president that time, and he was in SDP. Me, I was in NAC, campaigning. By that time, for you to be a president, you had to be a member of parliament. So I contested the first time in Ugenya in 2002. I contested also in 2007. I contested in 2013. Don't ask me why I never been the member of parliament, because I know reasons why I have not been. But that is something for another day. That was people who were elected at their luck. God gives you when his time comes. So, in August last year, when the Honorable Wandai was elevated to be the CS, just like other positions, constituencies, Ugunja then has not been represented in parliament. And therefore, this is the time for by-election in Ugunja. And of course, I may have reasons to say something if an opportunity comes. So yes, this is not my first time. And the reason why I have stepped forward with that brief history is to claim as a leader, to claim my rightful dream to become the second member of parliament for Ugunja. Out of my character, out of my working together with the community and consultation that have taken place between that time and now, I want to take Ugunja to the next level. In fact, I want to take Ugunja to the next level, and I can assure, and I'll be assuring the Ugunja voters that yes, together we will do bigger things. I want to, given the opportunity, to fix, together with people of Ugunja, the hope that they have been asking for. And I want to be given opportunity so that together with the people of Ugunja, we can take Ugunja as a constitution to the next level. Details can come. I hope so.
Oh, that's good to know. The bulk of our audience who are following this program right now, and those who will access it later on in our platforms are the youth. And we know now in Kenya that the bulk of the future, the bulk of the population is youthful. And we always told the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. And probably there's some of them who will be wondering, you are visibly elderly, and you have your sons, you could have young people who you could mentor to take these positions. Don't you think some of them might have a problem with that? Because we have a problem of leadership in Kenya. You see, the Ugunja MP, the Ugunja Parliamentary seat was vacated after an event that was inspired by the youth. The Kenyan youth went on a nationwide demonstration, and it made Baba, the late Raila Amolo Odinga, and the current president, William Ruto, to enter an agreement. And from this agreement that Honorable Opiyo Wandayi was elevated to the cabinet secretary position. So is it true to make the claim that this was something that was fought for by the youth? The vacancy was created due to the actions and the aspirations of the Kenyan youth. So would it not be right for a youthful leader to step in and replace the Honorable Opiyo Wandayi? What do you think of that?
This is my response. Everybody knows that the uprising of the Gen Z, so that is the name that is now we have come to know, had a lot of contribution into the negotiation and what is now being referred to largely as the broad-based government, for which ODM and UDA and some political parties joined the ruling party. And then negotiation came, and largely ODM now became, they tell us that they have donated their specialists to the government. Some say they are in government, some say they are not in government. But that's another day. There's no doubt that the youth played a role. But what I can tell the youth is that I've given my first statement as that I've looked for this leadership for a long time. And there's time for everything. So the youth have played a role into the current establishment of the government, but the youth also need to be mentored by those who are ahead of them, so that they can also mature to take up leadership. Because leadership, it is not just occupying the position. So leaders, the youth, I will encourage the youth. In fact, my first bill in Parliament, if elected, I don't know whether I'm jumping the gun, but I'm trying to answer. Patience pays. The youth have an opportunity to come up. Those who to know how legislative processes work. Some of them will be in, some of them are already in, courtesy of this arrangement. But it cannot be an overhaul event. In fact, to answer you how that will be addressed, as a lawyer and a constitutional lawyer who enjoys it, I have put in place, and this I think you need to know, that the first 12 months I'll ensure that I sponsor a bill in Parliament, which bill will address the question you have just asked me about the youth. And this is what am I trying to do? I'm trying to put in place a bill as soon as I'm in Parliament in 12 months to limit all elected positions in Kenya to 2 terms. Why is this important? You know, there are some people who have been in Parliament for as long as Kenya has been there. So, and then when they come from, they tell the youth that you are leaders of tomorrow. Then they are there for 30 years for all these terms. Is that correct? So I will sponsor the first bill I'm going to sponsor as a lawyer in Parliament to limit all elected positions from MCAs to the presidency is there, governors there, everybody. 2 terms, but then the 3rd term you don't have an opportunity to contest. Leave the chance for somebody else. If people want you back, we have seen it elsewhere happen. In that case, then the youth by me, youth I mean as we gracefully age, everybody will have a chance.
That is good. That is good to know. So I myself am a youthful Kenyan. You can see that. And,
Yes.
Before we held this session, we conversed with a broad audience, mainly the youth. And some of them have expressed this concern that the senior population or the senior leaders don't seem to connect with their immediate problems. So they could propose solutions that don't necessarily address the problems of the youth. Let me give you an example. Right now, one of the things that agitates the youth a lot is unemployment. There's a lot of people who are out there, they have graduated from colleges and universities, but they cannot get opportunities. And there is no clear structure. If you look at what devolution did to us, for example, we created universities in almost every county. But there was no structure put in place to look at where are these graduates going after they finish the school, where there are no systems, there are no companies, there are no organizations to absorb them. And that is a very big problem that nobody is talking about. And it's one of the multitude problems that the youth are suffering from. But the senior population or the senior leaders do not necessarily connect to them. So how do you connect to the youthful population of Ugunja? What platforms have you been using to listen to them so that when they go out there to vote, they will know that they're voting for somebody who has their interests at heart?
I have, first, I understand the youth situation. And it is not only in Ugunja, but I want to address the one for Ugunja because that is where my first interest is. The youth for Ugunja, I have had an opportunity given by God to give me an idea in the year 2001 that I picked on one thing and involved the people of Ugunja and started unprecedented bursary fund to address the needy youth who pursue education but are from poor families. Ugunja that time had 5 locations. I am on record, and I have evidence here to show you, that the issue of the youth is in me for the last over 23 years. The biggest hurdle that I have seen in Ugunja and in Siaya is that first of all, the youth issue is a national issue. But then from national, it comes down to the county issue. But the question to be asked is, what type of leaders have we put in place? Because Kenyans pay taxes. These taxes are supposed to be converted into service. Service here would include how many industries have we ensured that we have in a given environment that industries can be introduced or developed to address the issue of employment we are talking about. In Siaya, because I can talk about Siaya, I've been there. I sympathize with the youth also. Some of them have gone to university. It is true, there is no employment for them, but the question is this. Let's come down to since the devolution, 2010 constitution. The youth must ask themselves, how come the leaders that they support and put in position, they have never built an industry for them in Siaya? Not everybody must go to Kisumu. That's the first question. And I want to plead with the youth for Siaya that one of the things that I have put in place within the shortest time, because this parliament is going to be less than 24 months, in fact 18 months, but I've committed that I will, now once I get the position of the leadership, I have to work for the people if they give me the mandate. And one of the things that I put in my manifesto in Kijalu, in Luo, can I say it? Nabro keto Siaya County enyongong. Although as a member of parliament, I know that I have very little to do with the local county business. But as a leader, there's nothing that stops me from talking to the leadership of the county because my constituency is within the county. So I will start by addressing with the county relevant authorities in the county by giving ideas. And these ideas I'll call the youth in their own installment so that the youth must also participate and say, this is what we want to do. And as a member of parliament, I'll pick it up first with the county government and secondly with the national government. And also using my own networks. I'll use my own networks to ensure that youth from Ugunja who you have chosen their line to do can be exported for work, can be having their own capacity. As a member of parliament, there are so many things you can do for your people. So once I've talked to them, because I have to talk to them first, because they must participate in their affairs. Then from there, as a leader, I'll use their own leadership, the youth leadership, to see how we can improve their lives at Ugunja. That is one of them. But as we speak today, I want to encourage the youth. In fact, I've told them, I've called one of them, told them, as a lawyer, please, every time I go to every sub-location, I tell them, come together, register, not register, give me 3 names. I register for you a company and come back, give you these certificates. When you are registered a group many, then you can use this certificate registration when you have the same common synergy, and then you can use this to get employment from the MCS, from county government, and that kind of thing. So I'm saying yes, in my 100 days in parliament, as a member of parliament, and in fact the first 6 months, I will have a youth council for Ugunja. I'm going to have not a youth council, but Ugunja council, which will guide me together with the people to participate in their own ideas, and the youth will form half of that council. So that we know in the next year, particularly the first financial year when I'm a member of parliament, we'll put into the needs and the desires of Rules in Ugunja insofar as if I get the opportunity. Yes, the youth, the women, the aged, these are issues that I'm going to address. But the most important thing is that I'll bring the Ugunja people to do things which they have not been brought together to do, to participate in their affairs. I've said in my manifesto that I'll be having one day called MJ's Day per ward in a month. So 3 MJ's meeting with the people to discuss the affairs of Ugunja. Because it's only from there that I can be able to create a bill, take to parliament, or discuss that with the leadership of the county assembly for the benefit of people of Ugunja. That is going to be my first priority, the first 6 months. Yes, I confirm that the youth are going to be my friends because I understand them. I have children who are youth. I know the challenges they're having. But the problem is that I'm limited. As a member of parliament, I can tell them I'm going to give the people of Ugunja, the youth, a distinct leadership from the past. A distinct leadership from the past. Indolo telo motegno.
That is good to know. So it seems like you have very ambitious plans for the youth in Ugunja. And probably to some of those youth who are following us right now, how have you engaged with the youth previously in Ugunja?
Yes, in the youth in the previously, you know, there's a big challenge in our community. Is that if you go out to engage sometimes after election something, the people take sides and can be a problem. But the youth, even as now, every time I walk to do consultations, ever since this question of by-election came, I normally have a session with the youth, ask them, and they know it. I've gone to 20, Ugunja has 22 sublocations. I've gone to 21 sublocations as of last week. And when I meet the people to tell why they should elect me, I always have some 10 minutes with the youth that come there, and they are in the majority. They will confirm to you. There are challenges even during those meetings, but there are things that we are going to address as a leader. How to address them becomes different. Because, for example, the leader, offices can be opened for you. There's TSC there, there is National Youth Service there, there's the police, there's the army, and depending on how, and of my age, of course, my age mates are now leading very big companies. So with the compliment from MJ Okuma's office, at least a few youths will get some. But the most important thing is that I would want to hear whether youth have proposals on how they can themselves know how to fish. Because it is a big challenge to depend on the fish. This is a reality, but yes, apart from fixing the youth into some establishments, institutions in Kenya or abroad, those who are competent, I will also discuss with them and see how I can empower them. There are so many ways you can empower the youth. Some of them just don't have the opportunity. For example, not all of us must be employed in our office. We have youths who can play football, girls who can play netball. Some of them can play guitar, music, but they do not know that that can be a talent that can be utilized. Those are some of the things that I'll be bringing youth together to ensure that those who are gifted. But we are not going to leave anybody under my leadership. We know people have different challenges. I'll address them if you give me time. So yes, the youth we have first priority, women second priority, aged third priority, people living with disability according to my discussion with them.
Thank you. You've been in politics for quite some while. I wasn't previously informed about that. You've been in elective positions. You've vied for the seat from as early as 2002, which is more than 2 decades ago. And I'm sure you've observed how the political landscape has transformed within this period. Both the leadership and the electorate have evolved differently. For example, today in 2025, the internet and social media plays a huge role in shaping what people think or how they respond to your leadership. The debate today is organized by digital media houses, and some people still struggle to accept that there are these platforms that nowadays operate on social media and the internet, and they can communicate about society in ways that mainstream media does not do. And today, the people will be watching, they'll want to maybe express their comments on social media. Are you active on social media? Do you interact with people there? Because they'll be willing to talk about what they think, the problems they have, the things they expect of you as a leader. Have you tried to use these platforms? Have you interacted with the people there? Do you listen to them?
Thank you. Do you allow me to open my book, and if I've done well, I say it myself?
It's okay.
Yeah. You know, the world today is controlled by two things: education and technology. Forget about money. In 2016, in 2014, together with 5 friends of mine from Siaya. That time, Siaya was not a county. Siaya was a county, but by that time, we started the first forum in Siaya called the Siaya Engagement Forum. We started Professional Center in Nairobi. The first public engagement forum was started by myself and 4 of us. So I engage, I belong to almost many forums, and some of them must be watching. in Siaya, in Ugenya, and in Ugunja. All the wards, you know, they put me there because as I told you, my name is there. They put me there, so I engage. And in fact, one called, when this by-election story came, some started one called Ugunja Development Forum. I think I was the fifth person to be included there. And all the aspirants were interviewed in that forum. I give them credit, the organizers, of course, not like you, of course, whatever the case, I give them credit because I know some of them were biased, but that's life. So yes, I engage, and up to now, after 5:30 in the evening, up to 11, I respond to them, particularly if somebody talks about me, I respond. Which is unopposed to some of the candidates who have been there. In fact, some of them I've never seen them even respond at all. So yes, I do respond to media because that is life, but I do it cautiously. Why? Because I'm a lawyer. I know the dangers of being careless. And secondly, if you intend to travel, particularly to some countries, America for that matter, you must be extremely careful on how well you use this, because they'll keep it, and when you go for the visa, they refuse. You can just abuse somebody. They don't know, but the moment they see the words, you get what I mean? So I also want to question the youth. As you use the media, try to be careful. When you think you are right, then do proceed. But if you're in doubt, don't be careless with the media. But in short, I'm simply saying yes, I can do, and nobody can do without the media. Even right now, the only wish that I want to put in the use of media and technology is I don't think we have reached a stage where decisions are fully made from the media contribution. For example, you know, in America, as we speak now here, in America election, the moment candidates come and talk, 25% the first day they have already decided them they're going to vote. But here, you can see, even now, you promised us that you invited all of us. I'm here alone. That cannot stop me. So if the media, they can be, the youth for that matter, because they're majority, if they can use that media to spread the good news about what can help them, then it is okay. But if it is being misused, for example, if it is, instead of saying that I've seen 10 candidates, for example, let me give an example of Ugunja. I don't know how many schools. I've seen 10 candidates of Ugunja. They have talked to me. The youth now are talking on their own. And I think we here in this sublocation, we have decided to vote for and so, not because of something which I'm not going to say, but because we think we have heard him, we have heard her, and I think if given opportunity together with us, we can be able to move forward. But the question is, the youth have an opportunity. You have said it. Previously, that's why I started by saying that how I really regret that my colleagues did not come. Because, you know, all of us want to be leaders of the people. When we were invited by candidates, I want to disclose it here. When we were invited by the returning officer at Tambira, I stood up and put up a proposal that we candidates, why don't we have joint rallies? We are leading the same people. Why don't we have those? I've looked for it up to today. But there is no loss. I want to speak for myself. If the Ugunja people give me opportunity, I want to give them a break from the past, a distinct way of leadership. And this leadership is going to be distinct because of one reason. I don't know how people will take this, but they need to know. They need to know. My study at the PhD level, Dar es Salaam University, is on 2 words: public participation. I know you have read about it everywhere, haven't you? Yeah. That is what I studied at PhD level in Dar es Salaam University. How can public participate in budget making process in their county? Yeah. I tell you, my experience is that if you want to give service, you try to get it through political leadership. Otherwise, nothing. Leaders are in teachers in school. Leaders are in churches. Leaders are everywhere. Political leadership is what changes life, depending on that leader. I am presenting myself to do exactly that if the Ugunja people give me opportunity, together with them.
So you promise them a new dawn, in other words.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, marking a distinct break from the past. Telo motegno.
So that also brings me to another point. You're vying under the Liberal Party of Kenya.
No.
What are you vying under?
I am one of the first 80 life founders of ODM, together with Nyong'o and Kosgei. I have been in ODM, and I consulted since this by-election of Ugunja came. And my people told me, the voters of Ugunja, told me that MJ, we know you are a founder member. In fact, in 2022, I was Azimio chairman for Siaya County for Baba, elected by all members of parliament, because I did not, by that time, I just finished my PhD in 2021, so I was not prepared for by election. So they told me, but MJ, you must help. I said, I'm okay. So MPs made me be the chairman of Azimio of Siaya. But ever since this by-election came in, interest started coming in. Everybody has interest. We hear rumors, oh, so-and-so is sponsoring, so-and-so is sponsoring. So my people told me that party does not speak in parliament. You have convinced us that you mean well for us. I told them, no, I'm going to pay 250,000 shillings to come for nomination. The people of Ugunja, majority of them told me, don't, because we know so-and-so is, in fact, there they say, no siyam nege. Do you know that language? No siyam nege guloth. No siyam no angato kanyo. Very interesting at home there. No siyam no angato kanyo. No siyam no angato kanyo. Yes. So they told me not to. So I went, I'm vying in this position on the Federal Party of Kenya, a party that is minority political party in Siaya County Assembly, meaning out of the 30 MCAs, this party has 2 MCAs. So it's not new in Siaya. It's not new in Siaya. And they have told me that, and it is true, in parliament there are some people who are going in the so big parties, they have not spoken for the last 5 years. It's not the party that speaks there. If you want effective representation, effective legislation, effective oversight, which I intend to do, then the person is the person to go and represent the people. And this is MJ Okuma. You are truly speaking to you.
That is very interesting. I am learning so much about grassroots parties in Siaya from this engagement. And that makes me curious. You see, you're replacing an MP who was previously voted in with an ODM. And Luonyans as a whole has generally been vying with ODM, and you have a higher odds of winning an election in ODM than any other party. Does that not make you worried?
No. I'll give you an example. Where are we here? Which constituency is this? If it is part of Kisumu West, or Kisumu East, or Kisumu Central, the only thing that I'm trying to say is that I'm not going to create any history. People of Ugunja are not going to create any history. The people of Ugunja, I think they already decided now to give the replacement of Wandai somebody who is going to take Ugunja to another level. Not the party. Why? Because they are not going to make any history if they don't vote whoever parties in ODM. They are looking for a competent leader. I don't want to name names because I'm not going to be the first person. I mean, Ugenya has Ochieng, who is in MDG in his own party, twice. Shakil here, Kisumu East has been there for 3 times. All of us are Baba's people. As I've told you, I'm Baba blood. In fact, on 2nd of November, together with the Ukil Kamaloka lawyers, Luo lawyers, I was in that group and they gave me the chance to pray on behalf of Luo Ukil Kamaloka at Baba's place. Because I'm Baba in blood. But if some people, my people, the Ugunja people said, oh, you will not be given. And indeed, my colleagues who went there were not given. So the people there say, but they were the most competent people in ODM. But how come they are not been given? I have no regrets. I'm not going to be intimidated. I am simply talking to you, Ugunja. No me a chance ni atini kodi. Telo motegno.
Still on the party part. Last month, Kenya underwent a very sad moment because we lost the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and there's been a lot of talk about the future of ODM. Don't you think these elections could be motivated, could be influenced by emotions as people try to vote to either preserve the legacy that ODM has had in Nyanza, and could that not shape the outcome?
It is not for me to say, as I've told you. I have consulted enough Ugunja people, and Ugunja people are making their own decision. That decision has nothing to do with disrespect for Baba. We are all Baba's people. As I've told you, Isiaya has 2 parties in County Assembly. The Federal Party of Kenya and ODM, and 1 independent. Siaya County, this is not the first time that a non-ODM party or a non-party associated with Baba is not being elected. The current governor one time went against the odds and was elected in Fort Kenya against our own party when Baba was there. I've given an example of Ochieng of Ugenya, was been elected twice. It doesn't mean they are disrespectful to Baba. The people made that decision, and to a certain extent has worked out for them. I think and let me tell you one thing. As I've told you, youth must also learn from the leaders. Everybody is motivated by somebody. Our leaders, and that is why I want the first 1 year to propose that bill. However popular it will be, our leaders also have a duty to know when to leave the stage.
That is good to know. My co-host has a few questions she has lined up for you.
No problem.
Before I give her that moment, I'm curious, and I know there are others who are curious, just like I am. What does the Federal Party stand for? The party is like a vessel. When people see a party, they assume there's a core set of principles that you stand for. The people, for example, and people have voted for aspirants or candidates based on that.
2 words.
Okay.
Empowered community. In this case, empowered Ugunja community. 1, empowered politically. 2, empowered socially. 3, empowered economically. 4, empowered environmentally. That is the totality of life. That is Federal Party for you.
Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership. Live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders, the future of Kasipul.
Hi. Okay, great. Welcome back to our second session. And remember, we are live at Ugunja Daily Report, Rapoge TV, and Oma Bay TV. So, before I jump into the next session, I just want to take you back for just a little question. You talk about you'll be sponsoring a bill that only allows the MPs on the seat for MP, because you find that in an MP seat you can serve as much as you want, but you want to send a bill to the parliament, it should be like 2 terms only. And remember, the people who are supposed to pass this bill are the same MPs. And you find that most of these people have their own interest. What do you think? Will this bill really pass, or what if the bill is not passed?
You know, there's a in coming up with a bill, there's a process. One of the processes, I speak to you as a lawyer, was done a lot of drafting of bills. There's a process. A bill can be one sponsored by the government or privately sponsored. If, like in my bill, from the onset, I know it can be unpopular, but that should not stop you from doing it, because there must be something done for the first time. I will have to sell this idea to, as we speak now, is 290 constituencies. So I'll do that one. And who tells you that the people out there are not happy? They only lack who to do it for them. So I'm going to speak for, I'm telling you, I'm going to speak for majority of the people. And the other thing is also, the debate in Parliament can pass in many ways. But yes, there's something has to be said for the first time. People, this is not just an idea that is coming up. People are fed up. And many of them could be waiting for this opportunity. And I didn't simply say it is members of Parliament. I said all elected positions. Already, we have the presidency and the governor have got 2-term limit. So I'm simply escalating to the others, because also it is discriminatory to say we are being elected, but people are having enjoyment differently. So one can go 30 years, one can only go for 10 years. So I tell you, first of all, it will be new. Secondly, we have seen it happen in America. We have seen it happen in other countries where the incumbent president serves the term, goes out, comes back. And more so, the youth must be able to support this, because it's going to give them opportunity. Some of them are in Parliament because they have made money and they come back and use that money to go back. The youth are saying, but we don't have money. So if we say it is 2-term, everybody, if you have worked well, you just stay aside for 5 years and come back. Yeah, so it is all, not only for members of Parliament.
Okay, thank you. Another question on, talk to Gary about that, on the issues of bringing the youths and collecting their ideas. Yes, the ideas of the youths are already there. The question is, how will you implement it?
The idea of the youth are there, but you see, the youth must also, I'm talking about Ugunja youth. Yeah, I will be, as I told you, that the first 6 months I'll have a council for Ugunja. This council is going to work with me solicit ideas from each ward, and I'm saying half of this council will be the youth. So the youth will have, first of all, to get their own leadership. Secondly, to be in concurrence, an association. Because, if you just say the youth, there's a big problem. And the biggest problem has been the leadership that has been there. None of these people have brought the youth to one direction. They come on Friday, they run around with big vehicles. The youth run away with them, run with them, throw some, whether it's money or some, I don't know. But that is giving them the fish. So I'm telling you, my council is going to be 50% the youth. And it is from that council that the youth of Ugunja will develop themselves, with me being the leader. No, the leader. The leader.
Okay, that's a nice plan. So now this brings me to this question, that how will you prioritize the NGD CDF fund for CDD water problem issues?
First of all, if the NCDF is going to be there, it is going. I'll as a member of parliament, I'll have an advantage for only 1 year, which is the next budget, 2026-2027. And although the current law says that the member of parliament has no role, that is not true. You cannot get your position, so I hear and I see it. You can't get yourself as the chairman of CDF unless the member of parliament puts you there. In fact, as you speak of Ugunja, I'm a voter at Ugunja, so I must also have a position. I am told that the person with the ODM ticket was the NCDF manager for 12 years. So who appointed him there? Was he not the member of parliament? So he's taking over from who? From the member of parliament. So that is continuity. Is that correct? These are hard facts that people, the voter, must learn to know. So this is what I'm trying to say. As we speak now, the High Court and Court of Appeal and 7 judges in this country have declared that this called NCDF is unconstitutional. And in fact, they were given up to June next year to do away with it. So to answer your question, if I'm elected on 27th of November, and I happen to be there and the CDF will still be there for the next 1 year, then I will pray that those who are charged with the responsibility of managing CDF in Ugunja must do so equitably. And that is why I'm saying I'm going to bring to Ugunja telomotegno, a distinct leadership from the past. Why? Because I am of age. I have played my role in Ugunja and Siaya. I know where I want to take Ugunja constituency together with people of Ugunja. And so, every decision, and this I can tell you, every decision that should be benefit from CDF, if it will be there under my leadership, will be according to the priority of the people of Ugunja. The 3 words. According priority number 1, number 2, number 3, and within the budget. Equitable distribution of resources of Ugunja. I can tell you, telomotegno. And I don't want Ugunja to regret, because I am offering myself both during the day and the night to tell them this is what a distinct telomopogregmo senema in the past. A distinct leadership from the past. Why past? I also come from Ugunja. So if for 12 years people have been complaining, when we want to bursary, Suji, somebody has to be slept with, Suji, I'm going to give money. I have nothing like that. First of all, I'm not looking for this for money. God loves me. I'm self-employed. I've worked 25 years practicing on my own, educating people, and also people making livelihood from my 25 years of service. I have been a director of College of Insurance in this country for 6 years, where people who want insurance knowledge, God gave me opportunity, and I became the 42nd Kenyan to be FCII. FCII is the highest you can learn in insurance. So I became a director of College of Insurance. I have been a director of a state corporation for 6 years. I know how the bureaucracy of the government works. So if the Ugunja people can give me the favor to represent them, I will do the right thing. You know, doing the right thing. Yeah, I'll do the right thing. Services will be offered equitably according to the money that is available.
Okay, on that, you're talking of equitable sharing of distribution of the services and everything. So it brings me on to how you're going to show the residents of Ugunja the audit, real-time audit of this distribution of the resources.
Yes. As I said, the first thing that is different is that I'm going to have a council from representatives from the 3 wards of Ugunja. This council will know that, and I want to use only 1 year, so I don't want to go to past. Past there have been complaints. So how do I address these complaints? I want to address these complaints by making the people in the ward to bring to me. I'll put advertisement of people who want to volunteer to work in this council. To volunteer to work in this council to make my work easy by taking people's opinion, dealing with the budgets according to the needs, and ensuring that these services are budgeted for, are done or implemented according to the people's desire, not MP's desire. I don't want to just wake up and say I'm buying a bus. How does an MP buy a bus? Where does he get the money? This council will do that. And what is the most important thing is what? I will plead with the wards of Ugunja people, the warder, to give me the right people. And I'm not inventing any news. You go to the experience of Makueni County, the first 5 years and the second 10 years. Professor Kibuda Kibwana gave services to the people without law. There was no law. It means the leader meant well. This is what I'm telling you, Ugunja. I mean well. So yes, the council, I'll get the people to give me the right people. Then these right people will work together and say, this is the direction that we want. We don't want any complaint. If we are given the money, I'm saying if CDF will still be there, and everybody wants CDF to be there. The only thing is that, how is it being utilized? People have complaints. The Ugunja complains, oh, you didn't vote for this area, didn't vote for us, so there's no bursary. There's no roads. There's no, For me, it is going to be equitable. This council, which must be formed the first 6 months, because that will be 6 months before the next budget. That's it.
There is something you also mentioned earlier in the conversation. You talked about certain candidates being imposed upon the people. And we won't go into names, but we understand how politics works in Kenya. So there is a fraction of the voters who have still not made up their mind as at now, and they're still open to considering somebody who they'll vote for when we get to November 27th. So I would want you to appeal to this fraction of the electorate. What does your manifesto say in terms of some of the social problems that push people to seek the intervention of leaders like the MP? For example, people in Ugunja will still suffer from shortages of basics, like in healthcare, where the facilities are not well equipped. And I know these functions were devolved to the government, but they'll still fall in your constituency. We'll have people who need access to drugs, and they might not get them in the hospitals. We have the less fortunate who want access to free and equitable education, and they are not maybe lucky enough to access it. They might want bursaries and things like that. How does your manifesto seek to address some of these things? What would you tell to these people so that they can consider voting you? And then you have 1 year. How is it going to be enough to meet this, or will you still need another 5 years? Will you still come back and ask them in 2027 to add you 5 years to complete what you promised to them?
You know, I have no doubt that Ugunja people, some of them are listening to my discussion. And I didn't come here to promise the impossible. I am aware that once elected on 27th November, I will only have 1 year's budget because 2025 is gone. So I'll be making budgets for 2026, 2027, which is the government works between July and June. So I will, under my leadership in Ugunja, cut my suit according to my size. Jo Ugunja nyaka be ready. No leadership mara for 1 year, ma gupesa ma serikali momia, if that money will be there. We are talking about NCDCF, okay? We will use that money within 1 year to address the priorities for Ugunja people that are mandated within the law for the use of those funds. Priority meaning kimajo Ugunja wegidwaro, not mine. But I will guide as a leader because then I'm there. But secondly, I said in the beginning that as a member of parliament, there's so much that can be done. For example, something called networking. I can sell my position to international community. Look, and tell them, when the people tell me, people have to tell me as a leader that we need this. Member of Parliament, I will use the need of those people for Ugunja to use my international network to address them. And as you correctly put, 1 year may not be enough to address all of them, but does not stop me from starting to address. For example, the question of lack of medicine in hospital. This is how I'll address it. I will effectively discuss, this is to discuss, okay, on behalf of the voters of Ugunja, with the county leadership. Because I have to work with the county leadership. And I know that the county leadership have their own way, ears on the ground. But as a member of parliament, when I get the statistics and I have the evidence, I'll walk into the governor's office and seek for a meeting. The governor will have something to tell. Then I'll come and tell you, Ugunja, look, this is what I've done. But where there is some, for example, a question of capacity for the youth, capacity for women. In fact, I've started it. I will tell you, recently, until IB stopped us, I was going to I'd already called women groups to give them capacity. Some of them I brought my friends, some circles to train them, because I was going to start for them their own cooperatives and that kind of thing. But then we were stopped. But you see, somebody hijacked the idea in the panel, but that's what on the ground. So yes, things which can be done within NCDF money within 1 year, they will be done through this council. And this council, this I can tell you here, the people of Ugunja will have to give me people who are competent to sit in the council, to prioritize their needs for us to effect, to give service delivery within the functions allowable for member of parliament. And where a member of parliament is not allowed, I will confirm to Joe Ugunja that I will talk to the national government and address the issue. I will talk to the county government, and I'll use my network to ensure that what it could be done will be done. And if within the 12, 18 months, they see, this is what I'm saying, they see that I mean well, they'll decide.
Okay, as they mean well, that means if they decide you run again for the 2027.
For myself, yes. My main prayer is that elective position should not go beyond 2 terms.
Okay.
And leaders must know when to leave the stage for young people. Is that correct? Yeah. Okit bedi kanyo nyakit thokanyo. No. Nyakiti tiwe miel bewe kapod met. Kuzo kamano. When is your tomorrow coming? If you start, like I started in high school, I was head boy, I told you this. Now you are 18, 21, you contest, you don't get it. Somebody gets, next time you contest, you don't get it. The 15th year, you are now growing older, Cindy. Some people are coming up. That person must live for somebody. Yeah. You know, let me tell you one thing. You know, there's this position of, the Constitution created the position called the women rep. Unless the Constitution changes, that position should not be there after 2027. It was meant to see the capacity of different women, different times. So indeed, we are supposed to have 4 women every 5 years. Is that correct? Has it happened that way everywhere? The voter must now know that. That's the question.
Okay, this brings me back to cutting your coat into your size.
Yes.
We just have 1 year, right? And actually there are projects that were already ongoing in Ugunja, but when you are elected, you'll have your budget that is next year. Are you going to leave these other projects dormant and come up, implement yours, or will continue with the projects that are already on the ground?
You know, first of all, I am born and bred up and brought up in Ugunja. Sindio? I am also aware that when elected on 27th, I'll be having, say, 18 effective months. Sindio? I am aware that Ugunja constituency had a strategic plan covering some period. If I find that period ending 2026 or ending 2027, I am not going to change anything provided that these priorities were prioritized by Joe Ugunja. If it was meant for the benefit of Joe Ugunja, I can only improve it.
Okay, in terms of improving, we know that Ugunja, like Nyanza region, is much based on agriculture. That's the backbone of the place. And most of Ugunja people are small-scale farmers. And you find that input cost is so high and the market price is very low. So this leads to having food insecurity issues. How are you going to address that?
You know, sometimes in English they say you don't have to invent the new wheel.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. If it has worked somewhere, bring it and let it continue. I've talked to the people of Ugunja and particularly mamas, and they have given me an idea borrowed from elsewhere, and I think that idea is good. So I've promised them that, in fact, I've been telling them, the people went last week, I told them 49th day, so it's the 27th of November to December, then January, that is 60. February, there was 60 there. I'll give them mamas. Each home will get fertilizer and seed. Don't ask me where I'm going to the money, because I'm telling you, there is, you know, the reason why I'm saying I'm of age, I have friends. In fact, yeah, most of my friends are senior people in institutions, and networks also are there. And if I tell them that this is for my people, not mine, I want tell them what take. So food security is number 1 priority in the manner that I've told you. It has worked somewhere in the neighborhood. It can work in Ugunja also. The question is, who is the leader? And I'm saying it is me, yours truly. I'm going to implement it. And then the other one is education. And that I've told you that 21 years I started unprecedented education system involving the people, and I will just better it also. Equitable distribution. Gimoro nyithindo ma Ugunja riembo this school out. I will bring in. First of all, I will discuss with the leadership of the county government by giving an idea, because first of all, I must also come from a county, which is here. And secondly, if there is any money given the national government for the county, constitution must hear on those two things, which are allowed. But if they are not allowed, like for example, in the food, whether allowed or not, I'll use my own network to give every home, women, seed na fertilizer, wapate chakula kwa mesa vile nafanyika mahali ingine.
Okay, this is interesting actually, because women are, according to the statistics, women are so high compared to male in Ugunja. And the issue brings me back to, yes, you've given them the seeds, they have the seeds, they have the fertilizers, but now it brings me to global warming issues on climate change. It's not easy to predict the weather pattern. So as much as they've given them the seeds and the fertilizer, they cannot gain much. So what other ways, apart from the seeds and the fertilizers, what other ways are you going to incorporate for them to really gain much from the seeds and the fertilizers you've distributed, unless they were meant for food in the house but not for planting or something else?
The first thing to address, and I think and address together with the women leadership, is that we have to address to reduce lack of food to the best ability within the first 1 year. They must see something. In terms of climate change here, I told you that my party stands for, among other things, environmental empowerment. I may not have control over it, but in the beginning we have to address, how do I address it? Sometimes, some of these things are devolved in the Ministry of Agriculture in the county. They have their duties. Whether they do it well or not, I don't know, but that's how I can count, Mr. Lady. Look, there's something lacking here in Ugunja that we think we can do this way to better this way. But the most important thing for the first 49 days that I've said to women in Ugunja, they will have seed and fertilizer, which the only thing that I can do is to find out from the specialists, the seed companies, that this season, which type of seed do you recommend for Ugunja for this time?
I have a very interesting question with regards to the agriculture and the seeds that you've mentioned. We live in a country where we are losing our food sovereignty to Western corporations and governments. For example, we have laws in Kenya that make it illegal to share seeds among farmers. And then this makes us depend on seeds sold to us by corporations. So even if you give the farmers seeds, you see, these are seeds they cannot replant. They'll have to depend on you to give them for the next season. And that creates a cycle of poverty that we have not been able to solve. Like, Kenya has been independent for like more than half a century, but we still struggle with basic food security because we don't have control over our food. And these are laws that were passed by MPs, and nobody's talking about reversing them. Why can't we make it easier for people to grow food? Because we are feeding people, for example, genetically modified grains, and they're causing diseases. Today we have a high rate of cancer in Kenya, for example, and it's caused by the foods we eat. But you talk about the same seeds, you've talked about the same seed companies. Why do we have to rely on these companies to sell our farmers seed that they need to buy every season? And then you see, what's worse, these seeds have to be grown by specific fertilizers. If they don't use that, then they don't get a good harvest. So they have to pay money. So when you won't be there to give them the handouts, they will not have seeds to grow because they can't replant it. I might be very young, but I remember growing up in a society where we would harvest the grain and store it for the next season's farming, which is no longer the same today. So how do you plan to deal with it? We live in a world where health concerns are also becoming a very big issue. It's connected to the food we eat. How exactly are you going to deal with this?
No, you see, it would be wrong for me to pretend that I'll wake up being there a member of 1 year, and then change everything. I have to grow with a system that's there for the one which is good. I'm telling you that in our neighborhood constituency of Ugenya, so we see An average homestead has some 2 to 3 bags of maize, even in this harvest. When you come to Ugunja, maybe 10% had 1 sack. So if other things being equal, we must start from somewhere. For example, I can tell you, I'll wake up and go take a bill in Parliament, reverse all these things. I will be lying. I have told you one thing which I must do. One bill which I must sponsor the first 12 months with you, Evans, Faith, with Maurice, and Popular. It does not matter, I will do it. But for this, you know, and I'm happy that you say you have a reservation. So if I get the young people like you from Ugunja, 10 or 20, they have reservation. That again can make me sponsor a bill. That from statistics, from so and so, we can sponsor a bill. That is the work of a member of parliament. That is the work of member of county assembly. Yes. What should be addressed will be addressed under my leadership.
Thank you for that. I am also curious to the Ugunja voters who are listening. You've talked about transforming the leadership in Ugunja, giving them a new lease of life. So what accountability systems are you going to put in place to ensure you meet your words? Because we've had a culture in Kenya where candidates will come and promise heaven, but they never deliver on that. Tomorrow they won't be there in Ugunja. They'll be staying in the city, and the citizens will see them when they come for re-election. How are you going to ensure that you don't perpetuate this culture? What are you going to do to ensure the citizens can keep you accountable? They can track. He promised he will do this. He has done this.
In my introductory remarks, I said that if Joe Ugunja elect me, I want to give them a distinct leadership from the past. The first thing is that, and I told you that the first 3 months, the first 6 months, I'll be having 3 meetings per ward called MJ Okuma Day with the people. The people must come and tell me how they want to participate in their affairs. For example, I'll give you an example. I've told them during the time I'm working there that the first 1 year, all roads in Ugunja will be different. Even if it means taking the whole money for road to do only 6 roads, as an example, I'll do it together with them. Why? Because if you leave Ugunja and go to Butere, the difference in road is like day and night. So what did I do? As an example, what did I do? I did an example from a road going to my home, from the tarmac to my home, together with people that I stay with. We did a road which is not in Ugenya, is not in Ugunja. It's only that road only. But it's simple. You just go to Butere and you see that road there, a Maram road. Not easy is that. Do you know the Maram road I'm talking about? That is, you go to Butere, you see that people live here to go and benchmark on roads. They come and do the opposite. It is doable. Look, you go to a market in our neighborhood in Kakamega. I'm using it because there's nothing wrong in saying it. You go to market, you see the floodlight in the market shines up to this side of Ugunja. Ugunja, nothing. It is doable. The question is, who is the leader? Is the leader leading? And is the leader leading on the promises she made? Then the other thing I want to come to you, how will I put accountable? The first thing I want Jogunja to know is that I'm requesting them, give me a telony, Abro involve them in the affairs of their life. In other words, no payment, whether by national government or county government, will be paid for a service which is alleged done. The people in the council must approve that, look, we see a signboard here saying that this road was marammed. It has not been marammed. Don't pay. Something has to be started for the first time. Telomotegno, it's me, yours truly, MJ Okuma, together with the people of Ugunja. I don't want them to regret. I don't want them to give me enough fascine. Munduati together.
Something else. I want to, you've stressed on giving them a distinct leadership, and this is why
I want to also try and talk about some of the things that have characterized leadership in Kenya since independence. We've talked about some of them. Something else, we have a culture where leaders use positions of power to, for example, enrich themselves or their friends or family. When the constituency has contracts, you would award them to maybe your friends, or you have some companies that you register just for these purposes. Are you going to be the kind of leader that continues this culture? Or what are you going to do? How are you going to ensure that opportunities go to those who are deserving and it's done in the right ways?
You know, those complaints, you have observed it very well. And if you see my manifesto in 2002, CDF was my idea, the man talking to you now here. I said that Joe Ugenya, if you elect me as a member of parliament, I will start Ugenya Constituency Development Fund. It is his history, and I don't know whether I carry it. I can show it to you. It's called the Green Book. To do what? Together with the people's idea, to do things that cannot be done by the national government. A boy, my classmate, with whom we were in Ambira High School, took that book, and the father was a member of parliament, took that thing, CDF, to parliament, and it became law. It is me, MJ Okuma, whose idea became the SCDF. What I'm telling you is that I have historical memory of why even in the first case I started the bursary fund, which no political leader in CIA has started. Because myself, I'm a Nyatikich. My father died when I was class 4 in the last month. So I stayed with my mother for 20 years. I tell people this thing. So I also wanted to give back to society. I mean well. I am telling Joe Ugunja, people will get according to their ability. And according to their ability, it will be shared. I will not condone corruption. The people will supervise my leadership, and the people will supervise the service delivery within my term. And these people are who? The council that I'm talking about. You know, some of these things I'm talking about are new. Some people will be thinking, it cannot be done. I'm telling them I'll do it because somebody has to do it for them. Let me tell you, for example. You know, there are some people in Ugunja who have not come to Kisumu. Are you aware? Or some people in Hairo is close. Some people in Kaspol will not come to Kisumu. Let me tell you. And let me tell the youth. I always cry because sometimes, you know, the youth. Yeah. At my age, I have only seen 2 leadership in this country. One of them was very silent, but has left history in this country. And that is the Nusmukate government between Kibaki and Raila Amolo Odinga. Let me tell you one. When you are from Siaya, you enter Kisumu. Are you seeing the dual carriage? You can go to Kisumu town or you can go to Renja Masari. That was it. Some people are going to die from Ugunja without seeing that kind of thing. Yeah. This road you're seeing here, some people who have not come from Ugunja will die without knowing that, is this Kenya? Kibaki showed us the way. Silently, quietly, he died. There's no institution named about him. It is the leader, and I am the leader for the Ugunja, to give them a distinct leadership from the past. Nadwami ojo Ugunja, telo motegno, mopogrema, you know, yeah, can be very, you know, telo motegno, mopogre the past, and it's going to be done, yes, and it is going to be done because it can be done. In fact, my motto in my party says, inawezekana tukijipanga. It can be done provided we are organized. And this is what Ugunja are lacking. They are lacking because they are complaining, and they have been having leaders for the last 12 years. Why are they complaining? Their affairs have not been addressed for the last 12 years. MJ Okuma together with Ugunja will address their affairs in an orderly manner, because I want to offer services to the people of Ugunja as provided for under the Constitution, and for me as a role as a member of Parliament.
I have one final question for you. We've talked about a broad range of topics. And this question is based on the profile of the people you'll be leading, majority of who are the youth. And we have ways that they use to communicate their thoughts or feelings or opinions. We've seen in the past few months, for example, we've had people talk about against the presidency and the country in ways that has pushed the government, for example, pass restrictive bills to curb the ease with which they express themselves. How are you going to be handling dissident? For example, go online and insult you on social media, or create things that are not very about who you are or what you do. Are you going to be the kind of leader who will disappoint the youth or cause violence, stop people off? We've seen that happening in Nyanza and other parts of the country. So what type of leader do the people of Ugunja expect?
First, I want to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing for people for Ugunja. The right thing, always the right thing. Why? Because I also want to leave a legacy on leadership. Like example I've given you about the nusu mkate between Kibaki and Raila. The fact that it was not done yesterday does not mean that it cannot be done, okay? First, I will not condone the misuse of the youth. In fact, as I speak to you, for me, majority of them know. That's why every time I meet them, consultation, I talk to them, give them time to talk to them. Ask them the first question, who is your leader? Second question, what do you want me to do to you? Because I don't want to pretend that I know it all. But yes, I will not condone the misuse of people's children. I want to give youth capacity to have their own lives in an orderly manner for which they remember me before. And I go back again to that council. That council is going to be 50% youth. The youth, all they need to do is to organize themselves and say, oh, from this ward, this is our leader, So if I tell them, we want 6, 2 from the 3 ward, that's 6 out of 12. That's half. But I do not pick. It must, yeah. I'll do the right thing.
We can take a short break and then we'll come back for the final session.
No problem. You can take water also.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, This is your moment to ask questions, engage directly, and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly, and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly, and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly, and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly, and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership, live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly, and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership. Live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow through public debate. Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja.
For our last session, remember we are live at Ugunja Daily Reports, Homa Bay TV and Rapogi TV. And these final sessions, we have people watching us live, and there are questions for you, Mr. Osa. What is Okuma?
I told you I have many names. I don't know.
MJ Okuma. That's nice. Okay, the first question from the resident from Ugunja is the NG-CDF fund initially sets aside 2%, not exceeding of funds allocated to the constituency for sports. However, following the adoption of the NG-CDF Act 2023, which prohibits the duplication of duties by the county and national government, the NG-CDF, National Government Constituency Development Fund. So sports funds has since been diverted to support the development of ICT hubs within the constituency. So, what's your plan for the digital economy, and how does you intend to maximize the 2% allocation for the benefits of the youth?
Yes, that is very good concern. As I said, I will, once elected in Parliament on 27th November, I will only have one budget. So I want to assure the youth of Ugunja that whatever is due to them, to for example now the specific one, digital platform, whatever is due to them will be done within that budget. What do I mean? The first thing is to go to the relevant ministry that deals with the digital platforms and seek their advice on what is the maximum exposure that Ugunja can have. We have 3 wards, we have 21 sub-locations, we have a few centers, we have this number of schools. So these hubs must be distributed equitably. Secondly, I know of Ugunja sons and daughters who are guru in ICT. So I'll bring them on board. You know, sometimes leaders don't want people who are competent. I'll bring such people on board so that they can advise on how we can address that issue of the digital platform within the budget that's available. But as I said, going to the future, because of my network, I will ensure that the affairs of the youth are brought on board because they'll have a chance to bring those ideas. And where the local budget is not possible, I'll use my networks to gradually provide solutions, because I'm the hope. I am the hope of people for Ugunja. I'm telling them I'm the hope. So I'll tell the questioner that will be addressed within the budget. And even after that, what is not excess, what is excess, I'll use my networks to come and help. Because as a member of parliament, there are so many avenues. If used well for the benefit of people, it is possible.
Okay, another question from the audience. Do you believe that your clan play a role in who to become the MP of Ugunja?
You know, belief is a very serious thing. But first of all, I want to tell the person who sent the question one thing. I'm a Christian. Even Christ had a family. Somebody must come from a family. And if my family want to support me to become a leader, there's nothing wrong in that. The question is, will I work for my clan, my family? The answer is no. In fact, I encourage my family to support me because I'm competent. And I can assure them that if the family comes out to support me, I'll thank them, but I can assure Joe Ugunja that, look, service provision on functions of a member of parliament, I'll do it for all Joe Ugunja. But I really welcome my family to serve because there's nothing wrong in that. Every other time, Baba used to come and consult with the Luo Council of Elders. And what the Luo Council of Elders gave him, he went and called other communities, and that's how he got a national outlook. In fact, nobody in Kenya has been mourned. Why? Because Baba's family, the Luo Council Elders. So, if my clan, I'm also, there's nothing wrong in you being born where you have been born. In fact, you should be proud. So I encourage my people to support me to get the seat, but I'll give services to Joe Ugunja te. Dojodala wanyaka kwa kago chonga pen nikijinya hage thokoda. Jodala wa thokoda ur. Then kuse miatelo Joe Ugunja duro te kijana duro Joe Ugunja te. Then abrutin Joe Ugunja te. Yes, I confirm that I welcome my clan to support me because that is where I was born.
Okay, also charity begins at home. Okay, that's the end of questions, but you've got a compliment from Paul Redding. He says that, hello guys, thanks a lot for hosting our candidate, MJ Okumu, actually, how you said you're being called. He's the right person who is going to take Ugunja in the next level, and as Ugunja, we are behind him fully. Paul Redding from Sigomere Ward.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. I hear you.
Okay, that's great, and I thank all the viewers, online viewers that are watching this and bringing up your question. And after that, I'll be bringing my last question to you. Then my host will take over. So the question is, why should Ugunja pick the legal brain?
Oh, yours truly, MJ Okumu. This is the hope they have been waiting for. And so, very good question, There could have been no better question than that one. First of all, we have to ask ourselves, mistakes done in the past can be corrected by the future. What are the functions of a member of parliament? If I can do civic education, allow me to do it, trying to answer that question. The first function of a member of parliament is to represent effectively the people of the constituency. The second one is to legislate. Once you are there as a representative, then you legislate. Then the third one is to do oversight. The fourth one, oversight of the executive. The fourth one is to do budget. Now, because you have asked me that question, I must now mark myself. Because if I don't do it, I'll have failed. To represent the people effectively, I've told you that the Ugunja will have an opportunity to participate in their ideas. So they participate, and I'll be having 3 meetings in each ward. I collect, go and represent them in parliament. Is that correct? Now, why should Ugunja elect this legal mind? But I'm going to legislate. I've told you that the first 6 months, 1 year, the bill that must be in parliament sponsored by me is to make elected positions 2 terms. Huh? So I'm going to put what I've learned in school. And I also told you I teach laws. I teach law at law school. So if it is legislating, can Uganda make a mistake to take a lawyer there? Uganda were happy represented by the person they refer to as a moving constitution, who is our governor. Ugenya is now being represented by a lawyer in the name of David Ochieng. How beautiful would it be the Ugunja are represented by a lawyer who is also a teacher. The rest have not taught in university. You told me to mark myself. So I'm teaching law at the university. Am I not supposed to do better in legislation? Sindio? The third one is the function of parliament. Member of parliament is to make budgets. And I've told you that my PhD in Dar es Salaam is about public participation in budget making processes. So how relevant to this? In fact, I'll be there in the parliament, I'll be the chairman of the budget committee the next day. So Ugunja, when Ugunja has all the pride to take me to the member of parliament, let Ugunja not shock the country. Let me tell you a question. And it's not me who have asked that question. So, today, this evening, a combination of your team invited the 10 candidates. Like the 10 lepers in the Bible, only one person has come in the name of MJ Okuma. The rest have given excuses not coming. I have no problem. That was not my duty. I regret that they are not here because this is the only opportunity that we would have had, because even as much as we are candidates, we are also voters. Even me, there's somebody I cannot vote for in that list because she is incompetent to represent me. The same way, I am not excellent. I have my weaknesses. Even the 9, some of them may not vote me, but some of them will vote me because they think I am better. I thank them. For those reasons, I have answered your question.
Thank you for the response. I think you've spoken like the lawyer you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we brought with us here one of the candidates for the Ugunja constituency seat. Elections are scheduled for 27th of November this year, and he is interested in clinching the seat. We brought him here to give him a platform where he can connect with an extended audience. He has done his campaigns. He has appealed to the electorate in different platforms at different levels. So this was an additional level of engagement. We sought to have the company of other aspirants or candidates, and he happened to grace the session for us, and we are grateful for that. So as we come to the end of the session, I want to give him one last moment. Maybe, Mheshimiwa, you can take a couple of minutes to give your final remarks to the people of Ugunja. This should be directed to the people of Ugunja. Kindly give them a parting shot. Why should they come on 27th and choose you as their next member of parliament? Please.
Facing that one?
Yes, please. Yes,
okay. Jodala wa Ugunja. Mawinja. Gotieno. Agor Nyasaye erokamano ahinya kuom miyo teko mar winjo duonda. Gini budhoni debate ni nyocha luongwa mana kaka onyisugi kod jo Ugunja Daily, jo Ramogi TV, Rapogi TV, Homa Bay TV kod Simbi Kenya. Negidwaro miyo jogo mose chiwore ndwa bedo jatelo ma Ugunja. Agonu erokamano ahinya un jomose kendo akwayo mondo kaka ung'eyo kita asetiyo kodu kendo akwayo mondo umiya teko mondo wati together tarik 27 November kaluwore gi kita kod gik masewacho kaduto gi chandro madwa timo kodu kaka jo Ugunja. Maduong' ahinya nadwa miyo telo motegno, telo ma mwandu moa e sirkal mamalo kokalo kuom ofisa ibiro mi ji duto te maromre according to pesa mobiro kaka Nyasaye yie to kendo ka umiya nafasno. Kik u regret. I want to speak in English. My fellow voters in Ugunja, tonight I want to request you, and I want to ask you, Kaka Jo Ugunja, to let us choose development instead of division. And as you are aware, you people, Majo Ugunja and Jogenya, nicknamed me as Okuma Maendeleo. It is all about development. You give me the chance, together we will bring development to the next level where our immediate former member of parliament left us. I promise you that that will be done. But as a voter from Ugunja also, I also need to have who to elect. I'll vote for myself, and I want to request the majority to vote for me. Why? Because I think that Ugunja does not just need a member of parliament. Ugunja requires a member of parliament who will carry the functions effectively. And God loves me, give me good health. I promise you that I'll represent you effectively. I will legislate it effectively. Just in case somebody just joining me as I end now, my first bill that I want to take to parliament is to limit the term of all elected positions to 2 terms. But finally, allow me to quote as I end. Allow me to quote from Mama Teresa. This is what Mama Teresa said, that I can do many things and I cannot do many things. And she also said that you can do many things and you also cannot do many things. But she ended up by saying, together, me and you, we can do greater things. Joe Ugunja, ale mo kenda kwayon as I end this debate this evening with regrets because the 9 candidates did not come to join me to pass their vision and what reasons why they want to bring to Ugunja voters. I thank you, and I end by asking you to pray for me to have good health, to elect me on the 27th of November, and on 28th we start the journey to move Ugunja to the highest together, in the words of Mama Teresa, that I can do so much alone, I cannot do so much alone, you can do so much alone, you cannot do so much alone, but together we can do greater things. I thank you very much, and I want to request you to give me the favor to be the 2nd member of parliament for Ugunja. Telo motegno. Thank you very much. Erokamano. Asanteni sana. Nyasaye mundu wikinurut mundu pake. Thank you very much, the team of Ugunja Daily, Homa Bay TV, Rapogi TV, and Ismi Kenya. And don't tire. I will not tire. If you have another opportunity before 27th, you want me back, I will present myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MJ. It has been a pleasure hosting you. We've had an amazing conversation tonight, and I wish you the very best in the upcoming elections. I hope the people of Ugunja wake up on 27th and overwhelmingly vote you in. To the people of Ugunja, you've heard from MJ himself. He seeks to bring in a new lease of life, a new style of leadership that is different from what has plagued the constituency since independence. So I also urge you to consider him as you progress towards the elections, and I wish all of you the very best. So this session was brought to you by Homa Bay TV, Rapogi TV, and Ugunja Daily Report. We are digital media houses, and we have broadcasted this session on our digital platforms. And I thank everybody for tuning in to the session. I look forward to further engagement from you, and we also look forward to engaging MJ now and possibly after he has won his elections. Thank you Thank you very much. I've been your host, Ngare, alongside Evans Faith. You have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Meet your future leaders. The future of Kasipul and Ugunja constituencies is on the line. Meet the MPs ready to represent you in the 13th Parliament. Join us for the 2025 Parliamentary Debate, a powerful conversation on vision, policy and leadership. Live across all social media platforms with a combined viewership of 2.5 million people. To the voters, this is your moment to ask questions, engage directly and make informed choices about the leaders who will define your constituency's future. Let's come together and shape the future of Kasipul and Ugunja together. Voices united, ideas ignite, shaping tomorrow.